let us begin by stand and sing our opening song this morning, Dancing in the Light of God. We are 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 dancing. We are dancing. We are dancing in the light of God. We are dancing. We are dancing. We are dancing in the light of God. We are living in the love 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 of God. We are living. We are living. We are living in the love of God. We are living. We are living. We are living in the love of God. And we're moving in the power. Let's move. We are moving in the power of God. 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 We are moving. We are moving. We are moving in the power of God. We are moving. We are moving. We are moving in the power of God.
Good morning. My name is Susan Kluditz, in case you don't know me, and I'm your trustee who's honored to be on duty today. On behalf of Reverend Donna and the Board of Trustees, I'm privileged to welcome you here to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you are meant to be. We express, our vision statement is love in action every day in every way. We express this love by living and learning the principles of the science of mind. You'll find our declaration of principles at the back of your program. Please join me in reading them now. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers here today? Well, coming back timers are very welcome too. Thank you for being here. Please remember to join us. There's lots of goodies in the back and a pretty good variety. So please stay and visit with your I almost said old friends. I would like to thank everyone who made today possible. There are so many, and they do things behind the scenes that you wouldn't know, but it makes things run seamlessly, and we appreciate them. So, please direct your attention to the announcements in your program. So, please turn off your phones. Thank you.
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste.
Good morning. My name is Louise, and I am your practitioner today. And so as a practitioner, practitioners are the praying arm of the church. So if you have a prayer request or you have a demonstration, please put it in the box over there. If you can have it over there by 11:45, that would be great, because then it will get into our hands. So, I'm going to light the candle, just knowing that it represents the light within each one of us here today. There's a little ball bearing rolling around on here. So this, I will now do the invocation. So just get comfortable. You can close your eyes or just whatever makes you relaxed. And just know there is one God, one power, one presence in the universe. Today, in this very moment, let's stop and take a breath. Breathe in life, love, joy, and the oneness and the allness of God. The oneness that we are each a part of. Now move into your inner silence and listen for the divine voice within. This voice embraces all, is within all, and throughout all. Know that our loving thoughts change the world. Know that our peaceful thoughts change the world. Know that our joyful thoughts change the world. And know with me now that this service is divinely blessed, and each one of us is here today. Each one of us here today is divinely blessed. Know that the words Donna inspires us with are truly from the One, as we are all part of the One. I am thankful for this knowing and for the unity of all life. And so it is. So my reading today is from Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. In the universal realm in which you live and have your being, the whole of God is present at every point in space at the same time. This is a fantastic concept. I'm going to read those words again. The whole of God is present at every point in space at the same time. Take time to meditate on this great idea. In other words, God doesn't come and go. God doesn't capriciously move substance from God's supply up there to down here. Nor does God answer prayer in some special kind of coming forth. God is always present, totally present, as a presence. You may be praying for healing, but the truth is the whole of God, life, is present as a healing presence. When you know this, you are beginning to understand what spiritual healing is all about. You may be praying for increased supply, but the whole of God's substance is present as a prospering presence. Know this, and you are on the way to achieving prosperity. This concept may challenge you to rethink the whole practice of prayer and to appreciate the simple logic of the psalmist who said, "Be still and know that I am God." Be sure to catch the implication of this great truth as it concerns God as substance. The whole of God's substance is present in its entirety at every point in space at the same time. Not just some of it, but all the substance in the universe is present at any point of human need. Someone had said somewhere, there is no spot where God is not. There is no place on earth where there is an absence of substance. Now, while there is no limitation, there may be a consciousness of limitation. Thus, there may be many pockets of poverty in the world and countless victims of deprivation. However, the truth is, despite the appearance of great lack in every area, in every human life, there is an infinite and eternal energy from which all things proceed. You may be far from knowing this at this time, but the allness of substance where you are, so you shouldn't be poor. But the allness of substance is present. That helps. So you shouldn't be poor. There is no place in all the universe where substance is any more present or any less present than right where you are. Could there be a point on Earth where gravity has any more pull or any less pull than the point where you are? And also, though you can accumulate and store away material riches, there is no way that you can amass substance. In contrast to this, you could lose all your assets in a financial crisis, but you can never lack substance. The awareness of this principle marked the difference in the crash of 1929 between those who picked themselves up and went on and those who jumped out of windows. A person who keeps conscious that the divine flow is ever centered within one has faith that limitless substance will find expression through him or her in the form of creative ideas, ingenuity, the will to work, and a security of work opportunities. It could be said that when you realize your relationship to the dynamic universe, you are forever in a field where you can drill for oil and bring in a gusher every time. Namaste. So I take this candle and hold the high watch during the service for all present. Whoops. Put it back down.
Something tells me you wanted me to do this next song. When I was a girl each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is that everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. But an even greater magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy waters were at best, barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath, 'cause I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. Walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. I'll tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird, shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me wanna bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, 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 everything is holy now. Thank you. Namaste.
I love that song. Thank you, Heather. Good morning. We're concluding our theme. You realize it's September, almost, in another couple of days. What happened to 2022? It's like anyway, I've chosen, our theme is this month, all this month has been We Are the Light. And I've chosen as my topic this morning, Raising Holy Sparks. And I've talked about this before, but I really love the concepts of the various religions and cultures that have stories, because they relate, they help us. You know, their stories help us understand our philosophy, our religion. And so this idea of holy sparks is Jewish and is explained from the mystic tradition of the Kabbalah. And it seems like Isaac Luria, a 16th century Kabbalist mystic, told about another story of creation. He didn't dispute the creation story that was told in Genesis, but he was plagued by the question, why is this wondrous, beautiful world so full of difficulty? And he believed that our creation story hinted at another and perhaps deeper story. So here is the story from Isaac Luria. God created the world by forming vessels to hold the divine light. And this divine light was meant to radiate out, fill the world, and illuminate everything around us. But as God poured the light into the vessels, the light was so powerful that the vessels couldn't contain it, and with a huge explosion, they shattered, and sparks of this divine light became embedded into the world of matter.
And so these sparks of the divine were now trapped in the material world. God's presence was hidden, was unable to shine forth, so it then became our task to free these holy sparks. So we have a job to do, right? I always like it when they give us a job to do. So this can be done by the manner in which we approach the material world around us. If we pick up a hammer to build a home for someone who is homeless, that liberates the spark of holiness embedded in that hammer. If we take a piece of bread and say a blessing over it, expressing our thanks before we eat it, we free the holy sparks in that food. So too with our relationships, companion, and love, free the divine spark between people. And jealousy and hatred obscure these sparks and hide God's potential presence. So whatever we touch, whatever we eat, whatever we use can be approached with a reverence, with a deep desire to recognize and liberate those sparks of holiness. Through our actions, we can repair what is broken in the world and restore the world to wholeness and peace. This process of repair, of raising holy sparks, is called tikkun olam, repairing the world. And it involves all of our actions, how we treat each other, how we eat, study, pray, celebrate, and work. So I believe in the sacredness of all life, of all things. I love that song because everything is holy. Everything is holy. And I think we often forget that. We categorize, well, this is holy, this isn't, this is spiritual, this is material, and yet it's all one. It's all the same. Well, this idea of raising holy sparks may stem from the Jewish tradition. It's a place where we can begin our own journey that sees ourselves and each other and everything as sacred. The mystical teachings of every religion speak about light in one way or another. That's why we've got our theme, We Are the Light. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, says there is a light and life at the center of all things and a consciousness that responds. This imprisoned splendor to the eyes that perceive it bursts like the glory of new dawn. This incarnated consciousness and intelligence in all things can communicate itself to us and speak a divine language to the one who listens. So I believe in this light, and I believe that we each have our own pathway where we not only seek and find the light within us, but that we each, in our own way, are raising holy sparks every time we act from compassion, every time our thoughts and ideas lead us to see the blessings around us. And while the Jewish tradition speaks much about the actions we take in the world, it's also, I believe, that it is our intention behind the action that truly makes a difference. I believe that a kind act that stems from our own inner being of compassion brings a stronger light to that act. So if there are any points to what I'm saying today, let's begin with intention. Have an intention to see the radiance in all things, to be those people who find those sparks and release them. Wayne Dyer says that we have looked at setting an intention from the will. I set an intention that I'm like a dog with a bone trying to bring this intention into manifestation. And so rather than looking at intention that way, we should look at intention as something that we connect to. It's bigger than just having a goal and going after it. Wayne Dyer uses a quote by Carlos Castaneda: "In the universe there is an unmeasurable, indescribable force, which those who live of this source call intention." So this indescribable force is the intention of the universe. It's already there. So all we have to do is get in alignment with it. And all of our experiences, all of the experiences of the cosmos have the same source, this connecting link to that which is unknowable and unnameable. Ernest Holmes says, the heartbeat of the universe is at the center of every living soul, and the presence of God within us waits patiently for our recognition. We must awaken to the realization that a divine partnership has already been formed between the seen and the invisible, and we should daily feel a deeper union with life, a greater sense of this indwelling God, the God of the seen and of the unseen within us. So the intention that we set then is to be aware of this power and presence that resides within us and that we are in partnership with, and to cleanse our lenses so that we see this connection clearly and purposefully, and we feel it from the very depth of our being. Carlos Castaneda also spoke of this need to cleanse the link to this source so that it becomes clear to us. And William Blake said, if the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear as it is, infinite. So we begin our day by setting intentions with a few minutes in meditation, just to be in alignment with all of the beauty and holiness of this world. I believe that we each in our own way need to be grounded in our own sacredness and the sacredness of our world before we take actions. So what we're really doing is raising our own holy sparks so that the actions we take will come from this place of holiness within ourselves. If setting an intention is to embrace our connection, to be in divine partnership, if that's our first step, then the second should be attention. Attention. Intention is the internal connection, and attention is the external connection. We are paying attention to the world around us in a deeper way. The Buddhists call this mindfulness. It's the energy of being aware and awake to the present moment. It's the continuous practice of touching life deeply in every moment. To be mindful is to be truly alive, present and at one with those around us and with what we are doing. And mindfulness or awareness has no past or future to it. For example, if we're engaged in a conversation with another person and we're forming our response while they are talking, then we're not mindful. We are in the future and we're not completely focused on what they are saying. We're not in the present moment, and therefore we cannot raise holy sparks. When we are truly mindful, then that present moment becomes precious. We listen to another person. We taste the apple we are eating. We feel the brush of wind on our face. And these little things don't go by unnoticed. There was a line in the film, The Color Purple, where Shug says to Celie as they walk through a field of flowers, I think God must be disappointed when we walk by the color purple in a field and don't notice it. When we are mindful, we see the little things and they take on a reverence. And that reverence in itself is enough to raise the holy sparks of each object, each purple flower. When we acknowledge the beauty of those purple flowers, we are blessing it and in return releasing sparks. When we truly listen to another person, we hear more than words. We notice the subtle clues, like those that say, I'm hurting, even when the talk is positive. And we find in ourselves a compassion that would have been missed had we been hunting for a perfect response. Thich Nhat Hanh gives us some ways to move back into mindfulness. Often we find ourselves annoyed at little things. He says we can turn these annoyances into opportunities to return to mindfulness, aware that life is available only in the present moment and it's possible to live happily in the here and now. I am committed to training myself to live deeply each moment of daily life. I will try not to lose myself in dispersion or be carried away by regrets about the past, worries about the future, or craving anger or jealousy in the present. I will practice mindful breathing to come back to what is happening in the present moment. And I'm determined to learn the art of mindful living by touching the wondrous, refreshing, and healing elements that are inside and around me, and by nourishing seeds of joy, peace, and love, and understanding in myself, thus facilitating the work of transformation and healing in my consciousness. When we're caught at a long light or in a line, and rather than being impatient, we can use those times to take some deep breaths and return to that present moment. I sometimes just look at people in a grocery line, and I just kind of look at the third eye place, which is supposed to be a place where you feel love, and just kind of send love to everybody. And it feels good to me. It's just a little thing to do, rather than being impatient because there's a line. I get to love everybody, and it feels so much better. It feels so much better. We have so many choices, and sometimes we don't use them to our benefit. I sent the e-news out late, but there's a cute little story in it that this woman was having a dream that this monster was attacking her, and she was running and running and running, and she finally caught her, and it was pinning her down, and she said, "What are you going to do?" And he said, "I don't know, it's your dream." And if we think about that, how often is our dream not filled with raising holy sparks, but filled with fear or anger or resentment? And so when we've grounded ourselves by our intention to see all connections, and when we're practicing mindfulness to the best of our abilities, then our actions that stem from this truly do raise holy sparks. I found this poem on the internet. It's supposed to be based on a true story, and it's called Smile. She smiled at a sorrowful stranger. The smile seemed to make him feel better. He remembered past kindnesses of a friend and wrote him a thank you letter. The friend was so pleased with the thank you that he left a large tip after lunch. The waitress, surprised by the size of the tip, bet the whole thing on a hunch. The next day she picked up her winnings and gave part to a man on the street. The man on the street was grateful. For 2 days he had had nothing to eat. After he finished his dinner, he left for his small, dingy room. He didn't know at that moment that he might be facing his doom. On the way, he picked up a shivering puppy and took him home to get warm. The puppy was very grateful to be out of the storm. That night, the house caught on fire. The puppy barked the alarm. He barked till he woke the whole household and saved everybody from harm. One of the boys that he rescued grew up to be president, and all this because of a simple smile that hadn't cost a cent. That's sweet. Rabbi David Cooper says, every particle in our physical universe, every structure and every being is a shell that contains sparks of holiness. If we could just look at that, look at each person is that, the chair is that, the table is that, the water is that. They're all holding those holy sparks. And you and I are holding those holy sparks. And they're raised through acts of loving kindness, of being in harmony with the universe, and through higher consciousness. So the ramifications of this teaching are enormous, really. In each moment of existence, we have the potential to raise the sparks. But if we're unaware of this ability, if we're spiritually asleep, then we don't accomplish much, because the medium through which sparks are raised is consciousness itself. So you and I have boundless opportunities to raise holy sparks. How we spend our leisure time, the books we read, the television that we watch, everything in daily life presents sparks locked in husks awaiting release. So it's up to you and me to release those sparks so that light and life is revealed on this earth. So this week, let's feel and embrace the divine source of our being, our partnership with Spirit. Let's be awake and aware to each moment of the day, and through our actions, thoughts, and words, to raise the holy sparks in ourselves and in all creation. And I want to close with a Jewish blessing. From the sacred bonfire created from this fuel of learning, singing, and practice, may the warmth of many holy sparks grace our world. May you be blessed to find comfort in being less than perfect. May the light of the Shekinah shine upon your path. And may your heart be filled with holy sparks of love, endlessly replenished by the source of all. L'chaim. Namaste.
You know, if I had thought about it, I would have done to life, l'chaim. But this is such a fantastic song. Mama sent me the topic for this week, and I went, oh, that's it. It's a given. It's so easy to select this song for you guys today. There is nowhere that God is not. Even Louise said it in her talk this morning. There is nowhere that God is not. Everything's holy, everything around us. All right, so let us begin. And here we go. Sometimes I forget where I've come from. Sometimes I forget where I'm going to. Sometimes I get so confused I lose my way. Sometimes I know you feel the same. There is no way that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. Sometimes I believe in what I say. Sometimes I believe what I perceive. Sometimes I get so confused I lose my way. Sometimes I know you feel the same. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. I forgot to pray, forgot to be still, I know. But I forgot to give myself until I forgave myself. I forgot to ask for help, I forgot to say a word. Forgot to believe in me, believe in my spirit well. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. And one more time that line. Everywhere I am, I know what I got. Give it a Beatles head shake.
Okay.
I'm glad you think so.
It's time for our offering. So we thank you in advance for everything that you do for us, for all of us. I mean, we're a family, so. Okay, don't you join me in the offering affirmation? My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
Thank you for my abundance. I feel prosperous. It's all around me. Thank you for my abundance. I feel prosperous. It's all around me.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, thank you for your love and generosity that allows us to be a beneficial presence in this community. Thank you all. I do want you, if you love to write at all, or think you might and haven't tried it before, please stay after and join Kay, because she has asked before to do this, and the board, when we finally had a board meeting, we said, oh my God, yes, let's do it. And there's several people that are already interested, and I think it's just going to be a love offering basis. And but anyhow, if we have a chance to talk, we can figure out what day is best for you and how you'd like to see this set up. So it won't be long, but just stay for a few minutes after, and we'll start. Okay. I'm going. I love to write, so this will be fun. Okay, so let's close this portion out in prayer, please. Grab something to eat, and then if you're interested in the writing class, come have a seat, and Kay will talk to us for a few minutes. I know that there is one life, one love, one mind, one intelligence. And that is the light of God as it shines through each and every one of us as an emanation of the one. I know indeed, through our acts of love and compassion, we do raise holy sparks on this earth, allowing the light of God to be a light that shines to the world. I give thanks for the opportunity of being here today, for speaking my word for anyone who's experiencing any kind of a challenge, and to know that right where that challenge is the power and the love and the healing presence of God. I give thanks for our spiritual family, and know that we've created something beautiful and magical. And I am so very grateful to each person that is a part of this family. And I simply release these words to the law of mind to do its perfect work, as we say together, and so it is. Thank you so much. Stand and sing Stand.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand stand for love, let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are living a new world now. So let there be